DC Universe Online. This is Water Tips. How are you guys doing? Like I said, I have been on in a few months, or a month and a half at least. I've been doing other things, a bit busy in my other life, and of course, I think ever since Teen Titans came out, my last video was on, I think, a Gotham mission for Bane back. But anyway, since then I haven't really gone on any videos. I'm starting making videos again though. Like I said, this video is going to be based on the healer electricity type of power. I'm doing it because there seems to be a lot of people that have questions about it, or seem to have trouble, with the healing of electricity. DPS not so much, but his healer role. So I want to tell them it's a pretty simple loadout that I use with this character that I made. As you can see, he's inspired by Captain Marvel, so I just made him. Anyway, let's get into it. So basically, this is what mine looks like. I have martial arts. In the head mod, I have supercharged group transducer 3. For neck, I have the Guardian Angel. For the back piece, I have a accelerated Tesla ball. For chest, I have the Hardy mod by piece. For legs, I have restorative overcharge. And down here, of course, I have these. I don't think that the trinket, and of course, in this actual other trinket, which is the regular one, these two, I don't think they're really required. Posted for CR, but I usually get them anyways. But just so you know. And then for the hands, I have nothing, and for feet, because I didn't unlock it in my terminal on the base. So once you unlock everything, all three in your generator, where you have to pay for the generator charge, to push it up to 100%. You have these two. But anyway, here's my stats, health, everything down to the very bottom. Of course, my CR isn't very high in this character, 107, but higher than most other characters. Well, so there's some that are higher than that, but this looks like this. And of course, moving down to augmentation to origin augments, what you want to have is all restoration for all four. Now keep in mind, because I am a lower level character, I'm not going to have the other two adaptive augments because I'm not of 230 CR. When you're of 230 CR, they will automatically drop you these two augmentations in a box in your inventory, and you can open them, and you can choose two of the ones you want. So that's pretty much how it goes. So that's it. You just choose those. Restorative, you want to put exabytes in there if you have any to boost up your rank. And if you want another one besides all four restoration, you want to have one that's health maybe or whatever, you can go and purchase that in the vendor in the Teen Titans area with the open world, which is the Teen Titan Tower Island or Titan Island. And of course, for these, you put them all in here, restoration, and whatever else you want to put. And that's pretty much it. Now for the loadout, it's actually quite simple. First of all, you want to, well, actually before I explain that, let me just go back to the stat points. You always want to make sure that stat points is on hybrid, because hybrid is the only role for healer based. It's for controller, healer, tank, and quite a bit of roles. It's like a medium type of thing. You don't want to do superpowers, or you don't want to do weapons because they're just for weapon and superpowers only. And if you're healer, it's not going to benefit you because you're a healer, you don't heal, you don't damage. So, and you just kind of want to stay, each one has their own row, so you kind of match a little bit. For this one, everything is healer base related. For the left one, it's all damage related, and for the last one, it's usually power and critical damage of power related, critical healing or power magnitude. So you want to stay in this area. Always boost up your healing effect, your healing, critical healing magnitude, your restoration, and your health. Now, the most important one, of course, is restoration, and these two up here, and everything like that. You can't unlock other ones to make your other stats strong as well. So you can do some, let's say you want to switch a role to do some DPS things in overworlds to get you through it, because when you're a healer, it is difficult to really do any kind of damage unless you switch roles, so you can boost up your other stats if you want, like my precision for that particular thing. But that's pretty much it. And then, like I said, everything else is self-explanatory, like this, flight, all the innate you want to unlock. For weapons, I have martial arts, so all that's unlocked. I don't really use the mastery, except for some of my characters. I do, not all of them. Iconics, it's whatever you want there. Same as well. I always unlock super strength for my iconic heroes. And then since I have electricity, I unlocked Word of Power, which is actually pretty good supercharge. It calls forth lightning to damage and knock down nearby enemies. Does summon lightning, heals you, and restores power over time to you and up to 7 group members. And of course, for the DPS role, electrifies enemies, making them vulnerable to electrical effects. So you can pretty much use it for either one. That's why it's a good supercharge. You can use it for DPS role or healer role. It works for both. So, and then that's pretty much it for that. Like I said, and then going back to what I was talking about before, the loadout. So starting with the loadout, the first one you want to unlock to put in your loadout is have all these various good powers. is the Flux. And Flux surrounds yourself with a shield, electricity charge bubble that repels enemies, prevents incoming damage. It also surrounds up to 3 group members with a bubble that prevents incoming damage for heal roll. Next one's Arc Lightning that strikes your target with a bolt of electricity, stunning and damaging it. Then the bolt will jump to other enemies, stunning and damaging them, or jump to healing allies, also heals you when used. And then of course for DPS it electrifies enemies, making them vulnerable to electrical effects. The reason why I'm reading both on the description is because the top one is always usually for the role that you are currently selected at, and then the second one is always for the other role. And of course the one you want to do is the healer role. Now, for the third one, you want the recovery, which uses a jolt of electricity to recover health for you and up to 3 group members. Biocapacitor, which instantly restores the health to you yourself and 7 most injured group members. If your group member's health falls below 45% within the next 30 seconds, some of their health will be restored. And then the next one is Galvanize. You create a wave of electricity energy to heal yourself and allies within range over time, growing in strength with every ally heal. You always remember where it says range over time, because that means that the healing will last for a little bit longer than usual and heal them over time. And of course, last but not least, you got your supercharge. This is my favorite part because this is the part where I like to switch out every so often. Like for instance, if I'm by myself in an open world playing by myself, before I do any kind of duos or 4 players or alerts, I usually switch this one out with any one of these, like Invigorate, or I switch it out with Word of Power. Any one of these ones like this. I can even use this for when I'm in groups, but for the most part you want to have this one, which is the group transducer. Basically, it protects yourself and your team against electricity charge barriers. Then the group members are healed over time and protected from incoming damage. I think as well it also gives power, so I'm not sure if they changed that exactly, but I think it does give power when it's around you too. It doesn't really mention that in the description. It just says it heals them over time, but I believe it does give some power, so just watch for it. And that's pretty much it. And this is what it looks like when you're basically using it. Just hit this one. Like that. That's all the powers I just did in one. The only 2 you're going to be using mostly is the first one. And, like I said. And the second one. This one you're going to use a lot. So, basically when you're playing and healing other characters or yourself, pretty much the only ones that you ever really have to use is Flux, Arc Lightning, and Recovery, or Recover. These other 2 can be used if you're in real serious trouble and the player's about to die or expire. Then you just do this. You hit those, pretty much. That's all there is to it. And it's a pretty useful type of loadout. Now, if you don't have a troll in a group, it's going to be pretty hard to get these all to work the way you want. But like I said, the only 3 you're going to do for rotation is just push these 3, put a shield up, use Arc Lightning, and then do this. You can use it at will in case somebody's hurt more. And then, of course, if everybody needs to be healed once, or if there's somebody down, you can choose to push this to put shields on everybody while you pick the person up, or whatever. And that's pretty much it to the healer loadout. Now, because I'm doing this video, I'm also going to explain the DPS one real quick for those of you who want a DPS. So it's basically everything is just the opposite role. So if you go back to stats, check this. Everything is going to be DPS role. So where you see healer, just kind of imagine it's not healer and it should be DPS. And for iconic powers, you can pick the same ones if you want, or little different ones. Stat points. Now this one's important as well for DPS. Now, for DPS, you probably don't want to pick weapons, focus weapons expert, because that's only if you have like maybe a kind of weapon like martial arts or some kind of a long range or hand blast or pistol or even a rifle that you shoot constantly to use this for weapon 1. Otherwise, you want to use superpower. Superpower is probably the best one to use for any kind of DPS. And of course, it's all based on this here, and of course your damage. You want to focus on precision and might and power the most, and some health. Mostly these 2. And then, of course, as far as the loadout goes, this is the one that I use. It's very basic. I think a lot of people probably use it now, and if they didn't before because of before the revamp or they did, or the augmentation and stuff. This is the one that I use. You start out with Flux again. Surround yourself with an electric charge bubble that repels enemies and prevents incoming damage. Then you want to also use the group transducer in case anybody needs that. Of course, if you're by yourself, you can use any one of these, like Word of Power. The next one is Arc Lightning, which of course As I said before, it either jumps to more enemies and stuns them, or jumps to them or heals them. You want to stun them and damage them, of course, so you can use the same one for that. Then you want to use overcharge, which basically electrified enemies take additional damage. As you can see, this one electrifies the enemies, making them vulnerable to electrical effects. And then after, you want to follow up with this one, which electrifies enemies that take additional damage. As for this one and this one. So you just want to push this one and then follow up with either one of these. You can even push all three and do various damage. So this is kind of what it's going to look like. This, and then this. Or I'm sorry, I'm still in the actual heal roll. You want to switch DPS. And once you get there, I want to do these ones. There's like a Tesla ball that goes out. Anyway, it's hard to show you because I can't see my stats right now. But anyway, it's what you do. This one just summons a acute electrical effect to damage it within the area of its effect. This one creates a small little ball that floats in the air and damages your target over time for a little bit. This one strikes him with an overcharge attack, and of course you follow up after this one, which electrifies him, making him weak to that power, and then you can follow up. You can push it at various times. It only costs 100 power cost. And that's pretty much it. That's the hero and DPS loadout. Like I said, I'll be trying to make more of these videos, people that need help with a role or power that they think they need help with. And that's all for now. Like I said, if you have any questions, like and subscribe to this video. If you like it, if you have any other questions or any other suggestions, if you think you have a better loadout or healer loadout or DPS even loadout, let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.